Recording video. Touch area.
Okay, folks, this will be one last video before I call it a night. But found out some latest information. The shooter is a 20-year-old male. His name hasn't been released yet. They're not going to be releasing his name yet. But there have been several names floating around on the internet. Do not buy it. I'm going to talk about these names. One was Travis Posey. No, that's not true. Travis Posey was involved in a mass shooting back in June. This has nothing to do with President Trump. Travis Posey was charged with that shooting, not Travis Posey. There's another name, Thomas Matthew Crooks. Don't buy that one either. That's a name that's floating around. There's a lot of crap that is coming out on the internet. Don't buy it because it's just crap. The guy is 20 years old. We don't have his name yet. We don't know who he is. We just know that he's a 20-year-old who was hell-bent on taking out the President of the United States. Now, in saying that, I have to say that there is a lot of things to be blamed for what we have witnessed today. And I say we have witnessed because those of us who have, been, tuned into this rally that I didn't know was happening today until my friend called me up and said, hey, President Trump had almost was killed, So I blame a lot, This 20-year-old is a prime example of the way our youth are being poisoned by the left-wing ideology. You have all these schools, all these universities, all these different entities. And then you have people like, back in, 2019, 2020, you had Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, then you had Chuck Schumer, you had Barack Obama even spewing crap, and just a whole bunch of different people saying stuff. And the young and dumb idiots were just sucking this stuff in. And I say idiots because that's, they're hell-bent on, I want what I want, and I don't care what you say, and I'm going to do it, They suck this stuff in like sponges. And so they're being, told all this stuff, and they're raised to believe that our country is such a rotten cesspool and a racist quagmire, and, white power dominates. And then, you have Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar, who are also spewing crud. And, all of this stuff leads down to what happened today at this rally. All of it leads to this. And it's very sad. It is very sad. And one thing is for certain, President Trump is resilient. And without batting an eye, he stood up, pumped his fists into the air, and for those people who said, oh, he said we're gonna, he says fight for a reason. He says fight not as shoot 'em up, bang, bang, or insurrection, or, what we saw on January 6th. He says fight because he wants to fight for our nation. He wants to stand up and fight spiritually. He wants to fight for us spiritually. He wants to fight for us politically. He wants to stand for our freedom, for our rights, for our pursuit of happiness, for, the souls of our nation. Souls, many souls, each individual soul he wants to fight for. This is the man who I am voting for, and I'm going to state it point blank. And that really, I have to say something because when I was in the hospital, I was talking to one of my nurses because I had Sean Hannity on, and this was in my private room back in June when I was in the hospital recovering from my fall. And the nurse told me, she said, "Yeah, I don't know." She said, "I'm really worried about Trump." She said, not to not as a bad omen or anything, but she said I had a kind of a waking dream that he was shot. Well, I'll be darned if it didn't come true today. He was shot. Luckily, it wasn't too bad. Just grazed his ear. As a matter of fact, he's home from the hospital. He's doing well, and he's going to be back out there on the campaign trail fighting for this country. But wow, that dream might have been a premonition that nurse had, and it just really, I thought about her today when my friend called me up and said, "Well, President Trump was about taken out," so wow. Whew. Wow, that's all I could say is wow. I'm Flying Jake. I'll be back with more content. If I hear anything else, I will put it on this channel because, I want this channel also to be an outlet for information and I'm trying my darndest to not screw up anything. I have learned to be cautious, especially after today about the shooter is Chinese thing, So, I'm learning as I go here. And I will say, though, that guy sounded legitimate, but he might have been just a crackpot. But, yeah. We know now that it was a 20-year-old man who shot at President Trump and hit him in the ear. So I'm calling it a night, and you guys take care and just play it safe.